Peace, peace, peace. It's Aisha, aka the Funky Ass Astrologer. I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. I wanted to come on with this video to talk about how the nodes have just shifted into Pisces and Virgo, aka the 12th and the 6th house. And I'm also going to be talking about how it's going to affect globally and everyone else's sign too. First, I'm going to talk about what the nodes are. The nodes are destiny changers. So wherever you see the North Node at in your birth chart, that's what you came here to do. That is your destiny. That's the agreement that you made. That's part of your soul contract was in that North Node. The North Node is here to help you live that out. The South Node is here to undo anything from that previous life that holds you back from your destiny of what you agreed to come back here to do. So the South Node, wherever you find South Node, it's undoing things. And the North Node is setting you up to get into position to do what you need to do. So with that being said, let's talk about the 12th house. The 12th house, I call that the spiritual junk drawer. The 12th house is where you hide things. The 12th house is where all the bodies are buried at. And that's where all the bones are kept. So basically, when you have the 12th house, you never know really what's in there until you go in there and clean that 12th house out. So it could be something in there from your childhood. It could be something that, a nervous trait or something that you could have picked up and carried that with you through life and could still be carrying it with you and you don't even know why you do something. A lot of times in this life when things happen or whatever, things we see, the subconscious takes everything in. And behaviors we have are sometimes from traumas, they're from, observations and different things, and you've been doing it for so long, sometimes you don't even know where it comes from. A lot of stuff comes from the 12th house. The 12th house is a spiritual house because that's a Jupiter house, and you can talk to God in the 12th house. That's where the creator to me comes and speaks to me through that 12th house. Your spirit guides, you'll find them in the 12th house. That's also the house of hidden enemies. So hidden enemies are enemies disguised as friends, basically. So you'll find a lot of different things in that 12th house. And every now and again, that house needs to be cleaned out. When you're doing a deep dive, when you're cleaning in your house, you sometimes find that closet that you've been stuffing stuff in for years and it's piled to the ceiling and eventually it needs to be cleaned. But when you open it, everything spills out. And that's kind of what the 12th house is. Once that gets tapped, everything spills out. And a lot of times when you're having 12th house transits, it's good to go to therapy. It's good to, tap into some spiritual things like meditation and yoga and, different ways to escape in a positive way, because that's also a house of solitude. It's the house of jails. It's the house of asylums. It's not a very pleasant house if you're not spiritually evolved or don't have a spiritual footing. I notice when I do charts for people, if I see people with a lot of planets in the 12th house, I'll notice that sometimes they have a lot of mental illness. They have a lot of people have schizophrenia or like that depression and bipolar and stuff like that. Sometimes it's in that 12th house because that house needs to be fed. That energy needs to be released. And if you don't release it in the spiritual sense, it's going to come out in a negative way. A lot of people do drugs when they have a lot of 12th house placements. I've noticed that people get into drugs or other addictions because, again, it's a spiritual house that wants to take you away from something, wants to take you away from here. But some people don't do it the right way, maybe because they don't have a spiritual background or whatever the case is. So the 12th house is not something that can be ignored. It will seep out. And then you also have the South Node, which is in Virgo's house, which is the 6th house. The 6th house is the house of shit that nobody wants to do. It's ripping and running errands. It's all the stuff that you got to do for people. Hey, can you pick this up for me? Hey, can you do that for me? That's all in the 6th house. It's your employer, the jobs you do. People, if you like your job, great. Sometimes you don't like your job, but you do it because you got to pay the bills. That's the house of stuff that you have to do. It's also your health and your routine. Your hygiene, all that falls in the 6th house. So with the North Node now opposing that, and it's going to be the South Node is there's going to be a breakdown in the day-to-day. A lot of people may be calling out of work. FMLA might be a big thing. A lot of people might be taking FMLA because the people are burned out. And you also, being that that's Virgo's house and it's the South Node and it's an undoing, there's going to be some undoing and restructuring in healthcare. There's going to be some changes somewhere in the healthcare system. There's going to be a more of a mind body kind of connection. A lot of people are going to probably get more into the psychedelics. I think the psychedelics, I don't know if it's going to be like so much as legalized or whatever the case is. There's going to be more research into psychedelics, and they're going to be becoming more closer in availability to us. Because after all the stuff that we've been through, they're doing research saying how it's repairing neurons and different things. So I definitely think the psychedelics are going to be a lot of discussion. Also, we had last time the nodes were in Gemini. That's another Mercurial house. We had respiratory stuff going on. And Virgo is a health house, but Virgo also rules the stomach. So things around the stomach may definitely pop up. There could be like bad stomach bugs and different things that start to surface, and it could be a epidemic of, stomach stuff, like stomach viruses and things, just because Neptune is there blanketing everything and everybody can't see real closely. But as he's pulling away and pulling out, a lot of things that was hiding behind him are going to come out, because the North Node is going to be there, and then Saturn is there cleaning out that closet. So Pisces is getting an overhaul. Pisces isn't the same little empath and, nervous Nelly running around. Oh, no, Pisces is biting back. Pisces, the empaths have gone rogue in Pisces. So, accidental overdoses are also possible here in this energy, just because Pisces like to escape. Pisces love the drugs. So with that, you may see a lot of accidental overdoses, and people definitely have to be careful of that. So if you are indulging, my best advice is, I had to plug in my charger. My best advice is, if you are indulging, indulge responsibly. There's nothing wrong with a little release here and there, but you have to do it responsibly. If not, you will get caught in the wave and be taken away. So you definitely want to do everything in moderation. You don't need that much of anything right now, just because with all this Neptune and energy, it's going to be real easy to get the buzz that you need. Trust me. With that being said, I'm going to get ready to go into the transits and talk about how this is going to be affecting people in their houses and whatnot. Now, the first house I'm going to do is Aries. Aries, this is going to take place in your 12th house and in your 6th house, because Pisces is the 12th house for Aries. And what you may find, Aries, is that at first you're going to be you might feel the need to get away. You might like get away somehow, like far as like say if you drink, if you smoke, or you just might want to be away from people, because it's going to create a feeling of wanting to be in some type of solitude. Like if y'all don't have a lot going on in y'all 5th house, I notice, Aries, or your 11th house, your groups and stuff like that, if y'all not ripping and running and doing things, y'all get a little depressed sometimes. Like Aries don't like to not be busy. They don't like to not have nothing going on. They like action. So if all that action is not going on for Aries, at first, as it settles in, you're going to feel, a little melancholy and whatnot. But once you start to realize that this is all for you to be by yourself for a second, just to kind of tap into something that's higher than yourself, tap into some gifts that you didn't know you had, maybe some meditation you're going to start getting into, maybe some yoga or any other kind of spiritual practice, you may find that it brings you a great amount of peace, and it may calm you down a little bit. So that's what you're going to be seeing with the North Node being in your 12th house. Now, with it being in your 6th house, you may not feel like going to work. There may be days that you like, no, I just need a day. I need a mental day. I'm not going to work today. Or, you may start slacking off on some of your routines. You may start getting a little bit messy. You want to keep that in check, because the South Node undoes things, and you don't want the South Node to undo your 6th house, because then you'll have health problems, issues at work and things of that nature. So you just want to make sure you're staying on top of your routines. Find fun in your routine, make it, something to do, give you something to look forward to. So when this is all over with, you definitely will have a nice spiritual hygiene set up for yourself. You'll have a prayer routine. You'll eat at a certain time. Like, you're going to have a lot of structure and discipline and once this passes by, you're going to be very appreciative of it. Very appreciative. Taurus, there's going to be some restructuring of your groups. There's been a lot going on with Taurus anyway, just because Uranus was there for so long and the nodes actually passed through us around, 2021 or something like that. So Taurus, you've been no stranger to things changing. As much as you hate change, you've been forced into it. They threw you out there and said swim. So groups are going to change. You know, it is what it is. You may just be leaving some friend groups. You're going to make some new groups though. And that may be in spiritual groups. You may get into, take a class, a group class of settings where people do like, the meditations and different things like that. Your interest may change, or you can also take that to where, you join a boat club or, some type of fishing club or something like that. Anything that it's going to definitely take you out of your normal groups that you're in. If you are not afraid of the occult, you may get into some spiritual groups that are occult, some esoteric societies. Maybe the Masons might approach you, or the Eastern Stars or something like that. I know the Eastern Stars approached me back in the day. I kept it moving. But stuff like that may come to for. Now I don't have any issues with any groups, just to say. I say that just to say that, but you may start to see a different type of people around you, and you're gonna like it. Also, with it opposing your dating house, you're gonna be more selective in how you date. You're gonna be more selective in the fun you have. You're not gonna want to do the same old things. You're not gonna just rush straight into your hedonism. You're gonna dip your toe in and fill out the waters and make sure everything is good before go jumping into something. And even if just like I said, the 5th house is a dating fling house or whatever I call it. But you are going to be very selective. You'll be very selective. Gemini, this is going to take place in your 10th house. Your 10th house of career, which is going to oppose your 4th house with your house of home. Now, Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini right now. So when he goes direct and then the North Node is in Gemini, is in your career house, that is going to get you some recognition if you've been being honest and forthcoming and doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because remember, Saturn is still in Pisces too. So as long as you've been doing the right thing, it will pay off, Gemini. You want to make sure that, you're being honest about everything, because your mouth, everybody's listening to you, and you know that your mouth is very influential. So you want to make sure that you are, speaking the right things and very knowledgeable of what you speak about at work, because everyone, in your career, because people are, looking up to you, looking to you for answers. And that's also your house of reputation. So, just make sure you're not spreading rumors, spreading gossip or anything like that. Now, on the opposite side of that, there's going to be a undoing in your home. So I don't know if you're so focused on work that you're neglecting stuff in your house, or just, things happen. Like you may have a loved one that you have to take care of, an elderly loved one, or your mom might need you, or, something in your house is going to need your attention. So, it's going to come undone. So you have to, focus on that as well. It may be where, you can even be moving house, and you may not have wanted to move, but there may be a change, in your household arrangement. You can get someone in your house that you weren't expecting. So there's just definitely going to be some stuff around the house. Cancer, this is going to be in your 9th house. So with it being in the 9th house, is going to oppose the 3rd house. Now, with it being in your 9th house, you are going to have the opportunity to do some traveling. You can travel abroad. I see maybe some cruises, or maybe some foreign places across some water. You are going to be traveling, so go ahead and pack that bag, because you're going to get a chance to really see some things that are going to change your life. Also, you may want to get into some studies. There may be some studies that you were interested in. This would be a good time to try to venture into that. Maybe you want to change your field that you work in. Changing your field of study can do that for you. So definitely look into that as well. Now, the 3rd house, don't get caught up in gossip. That's your siblings, that's your uncles, that's cousins. That's communication. So the South Node being there, it's going to undo things in that area. So just make sure that you are backing up your computer work. Make sure you're not spreading rumors or gossip or anything like that, because it'll have an impact, because the South Node is there to undo things. So it's not just going to be like lightweight. It'll definitely be something major. So just try to keep yourself out of the controversy. Don't, mind nobody in the neighborhood business. Anybody come to tell you something, just mind your business. Don't have a bunch of people over at your house. Like I said, because that's, the South Node will undo things. Leo, this is going to be in your 8th house. And with it being in your 8th house is shared finances. Your 8th house is sex. Your 8th house is inheritances. It's other people's money. And it's your closely bonded relationships. So there is going to be some transformation and change there. Now, you may get some extra money coming from somewhere that you didn't know about. You may also, get more money from your employer. There may be money. Your spouse could come into some money. Your sex life is definitely going to heat up. Your sex life is going to heat up. You are going to be definitely enjoying yourself in the bedroom. And the only thing is, it's going to oppose your 2nd house. So this extra money that you're getting, there may be something that happened. Maybe there was some missed money management. There could have been something that you neglected, or something, that came up in the 2nd house of your possessions. And you may end up having to spend money on that. So you might have to get on a budget. So you will learn, while you'll have this extra money, you're going to learn how to budget that money, so you can make smarter money decisions, so that you're not, in any type of financial crisis situation, because that is on the crisis axis. So with crisis does come healing. So, you are going to learn how to manage money a lot better over this next 18 months. There won't be a whole bunch of frivolous spending. You're going to make the money count, Let's see. We have Virgo. And Virgo, this is going to be taking place in your 7th house. And your 7th house is your house of your relationship. That's your marriage. That is business partnerships. That's a house where having the North Node there, when the North Node transits that, if you've been in a relationship, maybe this might be the time that you get that ring. This might be the time that, y'all solidify everything. If you've been contemplating going into business with somebody, maybe that business might take off, or y'all might finally enter into that partnership together. But it's still on the Pisces Virgo axis that now has the South Node. It's going to be opposite that. So in regards to your partner, you may, get married or get ready to get married, but then you find out your partner has a habit. Or you might find out a secret about your partner, and that might have an effect on things. So, keep your eyes and ears open. You might also, recognize some of your flaws in the relationship, because Virgo, that you're very critical of things. So you might find yourself, picking things apart in the relationship, or, you may pick yourself apart. But I think right now, Virgo, it's the time for you to not be so judgy and not be so overly critical of yourself and others. You're going to have to stop being so critical of yourself and others. Judge ye not, lest thou be judged. Judge ye not, lest thou be judged. So with that said, be more open-minded. Keep your eyes open, because you may find there may be a secret, something might be hiding from you. But, your relationships are going to be a definite focus over the next 18 months. It's going to be really big on relationships for you. Libra. Oh, you're going to be busy, because the nodes are changing in your 6th house. The nodes are going to be in your 6th house. And with the nodes being in your 6th house, you're going to have a lot of stuff to do. I call Libras lazy. I know a lot of them. And it's in a loving way. But you're not going to be too lazy. You're going to have a lot of stuff to do. People going to be asking you to do stuff. You're going to have to, really get a routine and stay organized, because things are going to be coming so fast. You got so much to do that you're really not even used to, that if you don't get yourself in a good routine and a good schedule, it's going to be a problem for you. It'll be a detriment for you if you do not get yourself in a routine. And stay on top of your health. You definitely have to stay up on top of your health, because your health is going to be a focus, because when you tend to run a lot, you neglect yourself. I'm a 6-houser, so I do it all the time. I'll work until I collapse. So you got to be careful with that. Now, it's going to be opposing your 12th house. So you may start to feel a little melancholy, a little bit, down, because you're not doing your little normal fun stuff and all the little cutesy stuff that Libras like to do and all that kind of stuff. But it's just for right now, because you just got to tighten things up. You just had the nodes leave. Your South Node just left you. So now, you're good with, being by yourself and not as codependent. So now you got time to transform yourself, get yourself organized, and be a better you for the rest of your life, because that's what the North Node's setting you up for the rest of your life. It's changing something in your destiny. So don't feel bad, Libra, because you can't, do all the stuff that you like to do. Right now, it's just grind time. It's grind time. Scorpio, this is going to be taking place in your 5th house. The nodes are going to be changing your 5th house, and you needed it after it's been a very grueling period since Uranus has been opposing you. There's been multiple crises, one after the other, and it's just been a lot going on for Scorpio. I mean, it seemed like everybody's been out to get us, but we'll finally get a chance to put some of that heartache and stress behind us and then start to let our hair down a little bit and enjoy ourselves. The 5th house is fun, it's dating, it's romance, it's, fun activities, it's hobbies. So you can get back with Pisces being there, get back, and Scorpio, tap back into your creativity, tap back into the things that make you happy. You know what I'm saying? It's not all just about us having sex, because that's not all of what Scorpio does. We do so many other things. And, you are going to be, like, if you've been, detached, you will, you're going to start meeting people. Like, people are going to want to see you. People are going to be calling you. You're going to be very busy and active. Now, if you do get into involvement with somebody, be careful, because with Pisces being in that 5th house, you may be faced with deception. People may not be all of who they say they are. Example of that, somebody, you might meet people that say, oh, I'm not attached. You can meet somebody that's married and you don't know they're married, or you can meet somebody with a habit or something like that, or somebody just constantly lying. Or you can meet someone who's very creative, very artsy, who helps you, redefine your spiritual side. So it's going to be an interesting time. It's going to be a fun time. Now, it's going to oppose your groups. So it's some people that's getting ready to be let go. But you know what? Through the course of Uranus being through your sign and a lot of stuff, you've been through multiple crises, and a lot of people wasn't there for you. So you know what? Just go ahead and let them fall. Just let them leave. It was time for them to go anyway. I'm a Scorpio, and my motto is, I love you until I don't. So it is what it is. Out with the old, in with the new. It's time for us to enjoy ourselves now. Sagittarius, this is going to be taking place in your house of your 4th house. The nodes are going to be in your 4th house, which is your home. That's the house you grew up in, your mother, all that you find in your grandma, your mom's side of the family, you find that in your 4th house. So your 4th house is going to be a focus to you. You may have to help out with family. You may have to take care of a loved one. You may reconnect with a loved one. You may reconnect with your mother, or mother figure. You have to probably do some things, upgrades to your home or different things like that. Maybe there's something that needs to be done. Maybe there's something, you neglected. You have to start focusing on that. Your home life may affect you in your career house, because you may be where your career house can sometimes affect your family. It's going to be just the opposite. So whatever's going on around your home, you're going to have to kind of hone in on that to see exactly what's going on, what needs your attention, who needs your attention. And I know you've been home a lot lately, just because, Mars was retrograde and you couldn't really get up and go like how you wanted to, because a lot of different factors were coming into play. But there's nothing wrong with being home sometimes. And home is where the heart is. So, you may need to reconnect something. You might start finding old pictures too. You might find out some things about your family past that you didn't know, good or bad. But, there's going to be a reconnection to you and your family. And again, like I said, it's opposite your career house. So you may be a little bit distant from your career. You may want a career change. You may just not be loving it anymore. You know, you might want to do something else after the next 18 months. Aquarius. Actually, no, let me do Cappy because I forgot Cappy the last time. Oof. Capricorn. Capricorn, this is going to be taking place. The North Node is going to be in your third house. So your third house is your neighborhood. Your third house is communication. Your third house is day-to-day local travel, like when you're driving around your neighborhood in your car or the short trips. There's going to be a lot of changes in that area. You may be more connected to the neighborhood. Cappy, I know you like to be out making money. You may find ways of making money in your neighborhood. You might open up a little restaurant, maybe find something like that. Or you may open up like a communication business, start doing communication in your neighborhood, as far as like opening up some type of starting a work from home business or something like that. Something in regards to communication. I said you may find that you want to change your career and get into communication and find more ways to make money, be it getting into IT, computers. You know, there's also going to be, like I say, talks with your cousins, your siblings. You'll be, you know, they'll be reaching out to you a lot more. You're going to be very active in that house. You may get invited to, you know, some little family gatherings or cookouts. Maybe somebody's having something. Somebody's going to invite you somewhere. Someone's going to be calling you, wanting to reach out to you. It's going to oppose your ninth house. So you may not be going out, taking trips as much, or you may not be working abroad like you do, but you'll find you have a lot of opportunities locally that you didn't know you had. So the North Node wants you to look to your surroundings. There may be ways to make money in your area. Aquarius. Aquarius, this is going to be in your second house opposing your eighth house. So with it being in your second house, the North Node being there, and Pisces, you might have some hunches on money. So if you're into stocks, if you're into Bitcoin, you're the coins and whatnot, or just any kind of investing, you might have hunches. You might dream hunches. People might give you hunches. You're going to see a lot in regards to money, how you make money. You might get that big break that you were waiting for. But it's going to oppose your eighth house. So with Virgo being there, be careful that, you know, you don't get any kind of audits or anything like that, because Virgo is the fine tooth comb. And with the South Node there undoing things, things could come undone in that area. Also, that is your that's your house of, you know, that's opposite, that's the house of sex. So, you know, you may not be as intimate with your partner. There could be some things going on. You may, you know, be so focused on the second house that you're neglecting things that come up in the eighth house. You know, somebody could pass, with that being the South Node, somebody close to you could pass, God forbid. So, you know, the eighth house is a transformative house. So there will be some type of transformation in regards to other people's money, taxes, and things of that nature. So just keep an eye open for that. You know, make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's with all your business paperwork and stuff. But you are going to get a good hunch to some money. You're going to see some money increases as long as you do the right thing. You got to do the right thing for, you know, because if not, then you're going to have to deal with the undoing of something, and you don't even want to go through all that. So that's my take on how the North and South nodes are going to affect everybody. Again, if you are indulging, be very careful. You know, you don't want to accidentally, you know, cause yourself a problem or have an accidental overdose. If you have, you know, anything buried that you need to deal with, you know, make sure you try to deal with it. Don't continue to carry certain things through life, which you don't have to. The whole point of all this, the nodes moving on its axis, is to clean and clear it out. And with the North Node in Pisces, it's going to clean out that subconscious closet. Like I said, we are seeing so much that was hidden from us revealed now, just because Neptune's leaving, and that blanket of fog that's been all over us for all this time, all these years, is going to be lifting. Saturn's there. He's still going to be cleaning stuff out. So, you know, everything is going to be revealed. And you'll also find that I don't know about anybody else, but through all the stuff that's going on, and with Saturn being in Pisces, it was having a damper on my connection to the Creator. But I noticed an immediately, I'm definitely feeling more spiritual in regards to my higher self. That's for sure. So take advantage of this good energy. Listen to some good music, some jazz, real good music. Take care of your health, because again, this is on the Virgo axis. Try to get a day-to-day routine that's going to suit you. And I will be back in a little while to talk about, how things are progressing, what I've observed, and, talk about the other astrological transits that are coming up. So everybody stay safe, and please continue to like, subscribe, and share the video. Peace.